The data starts moving at midnight. James watches the progress bar on his screen with the particular stillness of a man who has been waiting a very long time for this moment and is not going to waste it by blinking. Numbers scroll. Files transfer. Decades worth of financial records, private communications, offshore account details, shell company structures, and the specific, documented evidence of how William Buckwood and a network of foreign investors systematically extracted wealth from the eastern region of Nigeria, before, during, and after the Biafra War, moved from a stolen flash drive into a secure server that no government and no private security firm on earth can touch. We're in full access. Everything he had, we have. James said. How much? Vivian asked. How much data or how much money? James asked. Both. Vivian said. Data, everything. 40 years of transactions. Names, dates, amounts, routing numbers, the whole architecture. Money, he pauses. Looks at the screen. Looks back at Vivian. More than we thought. Significantly more. James said. How significantly? Vivian asked. Let me put it this way. What was taken from the eastern region in oil revenues alone, revenues that should have gone to rebuilding the infrastructure destroyed in the war, to compensating the families stripped of their properties, to funding the education and healthcare of a generation of children born into the rubble of a conflict they had nothing to do with, what was taken, and what is sitting in Buckwood's network of offshore accounts right now, are almost exactly the same number. James said. The room goes quiet. You're saying he has it? Vivian asked. I'm saying he kept it. All of it. For 40 years. In accounts spread across 7 jurisdictions specifically chosen to make recovery impossible through conventional legal channels. He looks at the screen again. Conventional being the operative word. James said. Zimuzor is standing at the window when Vivian brings him the report. He reads it without expression, the kind of reading that is not the first time encountering information but the confirmation of what you already knew, the evidence finally catching up to the conclusion you reached years ago. He reads it once. Sets it down. Picks it up and reads it again. Then he looks out of the window at Lagos spread below him, the lights of the city stretching to the horizon, millions of lives being lived in the dark, each one carrying some portion of a history that was shaped by decisions made in rooms exactly like the ones William Buckwood has been sitting in for 40 years. How long to move it? Zimuzor asked. Already started. By morning, the funds will be distributed across a network of trusts established specifically for this purpose. Educational endowments. Infrastructure funds. Direct reparation accounts for families who can document losses from the post-war policies. Medical facilities for communities in the eastern region that still have no adequate health care. All of it structured legally, all of it untraceable back to the source, all of it operational within 72 hours. James replied. And Buckwood? Zimuzor asked. The evidence packages go to 12 journalists simultaneously at 6 in the morning. Lagos, London, New York, Paris. Every major outlet. Every document authenticated, every transaction traceable, every name named. By the time he wakes up, it will already be everywhere. James replied. Good. Zimuzor said. He says it quietly. Not triumphantly. Not with the raised fist of a man who has just won something. Just, good. The word of a man checking an item off a list. The word of a man who has been working toward this for 15 years and is now here and finds that here feels less like a destination and more like a corridor, the end of one thing and the beginning of something he has not yet fully mapped. Justice, he is discovering, does not feel the way he thought it would feel. He thought it would feel like relief. Like the specific exhale of a chest that has been held tight for a very long time finally releasing. He thought it would feel clean, the way a wound feels clean after it has been properly treated, the pain replaced by the neutral sensation of healing. It does not feel clean. It feels true. It feels necessary. It feels like the right thing done in the right direction with the right evidence at the right time. But clean, no. Because the money moving through James's server tonight will rebuild schools and hospitals and futures. It will give back, in material form, some portion of what was taken. It will make a real difference in real lives in the eastern region for generations to come. And none of it will give Ahana his father back. None of it will give Dabareki the years she spent raising a son alone. None of it will return to Mama the nights she sat by a candle worrying about a son who had stopped answering her calls. None of it touches the personal ledger, the private account of costs that cannot be settled with data and offshore transfers and simultaneous press releases to 12 journalists. That ledger requires something else entirely. He picks up his phone. It rings 4 times. 5. He is about to end the call when she answers. Hello. Dabareki answered politely. Her voice is older. Obviously. 15 years is 15 years. But underneath the years it is exactly as he remembers it, direct, warm, and right now very careful. The careful of someone who has looked at an unexpected number on their screen and answered anyway because something in them needed to know. Debbie. Zimuzor said. A silence. Long enough to contain everything that 15 years of silence contains. Zimuzor. Dabareki muttered. Not a question. Not a greeting. Just his name, spoken in the voice of a woman who has had 15 years to decide what she would say if this moment ever arrived and has just discovered, in real time, that none of the things she prepared are adequate. I'm in Lagos. Zimuzor said. Okay. Dabareki replied. Zimuzor, you hear what I just said? Yes, Dabareki replied. The Dabareki's voice lands like a hand on the chest. He breathes through it. Debbie, I need to tell you something. I need to tell you that I know. I know what I left behind. I know what I chose. And I know that no explanation makes it right. I'm not calling to explain myself. I'm calling because, Zimuzor was still speaking when Dabareki interrupted him. He knows about you. Dabareki said. The sentence stops him completely. Who? Zimuzor asked. Your son. Dabareki said. I have a son. Zimuzor asked. He asked me. A few weeks ago, over breakfast. He sat down across from me and he asked me who his father was and I told him everything. Who you were. What you believed. Why you left. Her voice is steady, the steadiness of someone who has made their peace with a story, not the steadiness of someone who has no feelings about it. He is extraordinary, Zimuzor. He is so much like you it is almost unfair. Dabareki said. Zimuzor closes his eyes. He sits with that for a long time. His son. Ahana. A name he is hearing for the first time. A person he has never met who is extraordinary and is so much like him it is almost unfair. A young man who grew up in Papanukwa's compound and went to Lagos and is building something with music and has his father's fire in his chest and his mother's eyes on his face and has been living a full, real, irreplaceable life without him. Can I meet him? Zimuzor asked. That is not my decision to make anymore. He is grown. Ask him. Dabareki said. And 3 weeks later, on a morning so ordinary it could be any morning, on a veranda in Enugu with the mango tree casting its familiar shadow across the red earth of the compound, Zimuzor Anyanwu sits across from his son for the first time. They look at each other for a long moment. Ahana speaks first. So. You're the man who abandoned my mother. Ahana said. That is one way to put it. Zimuzor replied. Is there another way? Ahana asked. Zimuzor looks at his son, at Dabareki's eyes looking back at him from a face that is unmistakably his own, and feels the full weight of every choice, every closed door, every switched-off phone, every year of mission and absence and deliberate unknowing pressing down on this moment and releasing into it simultaneously. I was a man who learned the truth about his people and could not unknow it. And I made choices that I cannot undo. And some of those choices were right. And one of them, the one that cost you the most, was the one I should have made differently. Zimuzor said. Ahana is quiet for a moment. Did you finish what you started? Ahana asked. Yes. Zimuzor said. Did it work? Ahana asked. It worked. Zimuzor said. Ahana nods slowly. Looks out at the compound. At the mango tree. At the red earth of a place that has outlasted wars and policies and absences and the particular cruelty of history when it decides to use real people as its instruments. Then I have one question. Ahana stated. Ask it. Zimuzor replied. What do we do now? Ahana asked. And Zimuzor, 15 years older, 15 years wiser, carrying the weight of a mission completed and a debt that can never be fully repaid but can be spent down, day by day, choice by choice, presence by presence, looks at his son and for the first time since he read AWA Genesis by candlelight in a box-sized hostel room in Bauchi State, feels the particular peace of a man who knows exactly what comes next. We go home. We rebuild. Together. Zimuzor replied. 3 lives. Shaped by one war. Fought a generation before any of them were born. Dabareki, who kept the child, raised the child, loved the child with the fierce and quiet strength of a woman who decided that survival was not a feeling but a decision, and who proved it every single day for 15 years. Ahana, who grew up fatherless in Enugu, found his voice in Lagos, built his way from hunger and honesty and the fire his father left behind without meaning to, and who sat across from a stranger on a veranda and asked what do we do now because he is his father's son and his father's son does not wait for history to happen to him. And Zimuzor, who read a book, burned his life down, crossed continents and breached security systems and moved money that should never have left in the first place back to the people it was taken from, and who came home to discover that justice without reconciliation is only half a victory and that the second half was waiting for him on a veranda in Enugu all along. The sun rises over the compound. Over the mango tree and the red earth and the 3 of them sitting together in the ordinary extraordinary morning. And somewhere, in the memory of every family head who gathered before sunrise under a tree in the aftermath of a war that was supposed to finish them, in the voice of the oldest man, thin but unbroken, speaking a prophecy that traveled across 15 years and 2 continents in one flash drive and one extraordinary sun to arrive at this moment. The sun that shines bright on the people and land of Biafra, will never go down again. Zimuzor declared out loud. Eyes. 16 episodes. 1 story. A century of history, 3 generations of consequence, and 1 truth that refused to stay buried. If this series has meant something to you, if it has taught you something, moved you, changed something in how you see yourself or your history or your world, then this is the moment. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share every episode with everyone you know. This story deserves to be heard by millions of people. Drop a comment below. What did this series mean to you? What are you taking away? What do you want us to explore next? Like this video and let the algorithm carry this story to every person who needs it. Because some stories are not entertainment. Some stories are medicine. And this one belongs to all of us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying. Thank you for caring enough to see it through to the end. The sun does not go down. Eyes.